Hello and welcome to a new episode. It's been a couple of weeks since we started the vegetable garden and everything is pretty much taking shape. All the plants are growing pretty nicely, so we're very happy with the progress with that. There's one thing though that is quite time consuming, and that's giving everything water each day, because with the hot weather that we have here, today's a cold day, the plants need a lot of water. So it takes us about an hour or two every day to water everything. So we need to do something about that today. So we bought some drip tubes. And we still had some other pipe laying around. And we bought some connections. Now the idea is to get 5 rows of drip line into each bed. So here 5 rows, and over there also 5 rows. Let's start with the first one. So we want to have 5 lines going that way. So I bought some T connections for that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the last one is a corner connection, number 5. So let's connect those first and then put in the tubes. So for the connections, I'll just use the normal tubing, of course, without the dripping system. So first let's get that connected. To connect the piping to the connections, I just put the piping into a thermos with just boiled water, hot water, for let's say about 10 to 15 seconds, so that the pipe gets a little bit softer, and that makes it just easier to put the connection into the pipe. Slides right in. Now the other side. Easy peasy. Okay, I've got the whole system in. Corner, T, 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 and then the starting point. Now at the starting point, I'm going to put a male connector for universal garden hoses in. So then I can just easily connect a garden hose to it. This side into the water. This one's a bit thicker than the normal connections that you have to use for these tubings. So I'll leave it in the water a little bit longer than the other ones, so it gets really soft. And hopefully I can slide this gem in. Alright, now I have a universal connection. So I'll just put this here. I do have some staples to get it fixed on the location that we want them. But if I don't need to use them, I'd rather not. Material is material, and what you don't need to use, you don't have to buy. We'll see how that works. So while I've been working on the connections, Sylvia's been rolling out the drip system. That way we can hopefully remove a bit of the curvage already. That's in the rolled up pipe. There's our superhero. Are you going to show us some superhero stuff?
Nou, misschien wil je Karen als een superheld.
Wow! There you go. Wow. Let's see if we can get the first line in. The tubes are in. We decided to put 3 tubes in this side because we have some bigger crops over there with a lot of more spacing in between, and then starting here we have 5 of the tubes going all the way to the beginning. So for each line I'm going to put a valve in so we can close off each line separately, because in time we'll harvest the vegetables of course, and then there might be spots that don't need any irrigation anymore, so we can just turn it off. So these valves have a cap that you should be putting onto the tubing, but I cannot get it into the normal tube that I have. It just doesn't fit through, so I'll do it without, and then hot water again and push it on. And on the dripping system it does fit with a tight squeeze, but it's maybe a little bit less thick, these lines, so that does fit. So we'll put that here, and then this one, and then connect it here. Four more to go. And for the other side I have these end caps. And with that, the first section is done. And now the second section. No. No. There we go. Now I didn't have enough end caps, so I just fold this double, put a tie rip around it, and that closes it off as well. So here again we start with 5 pieces, but it slowly continues to just 3, as again we have bigger crops, and Sylvia's going to align this a little bit better to put them more near the vegetables. And then we have one line that continues to this area. Now this area we had sheep's manure here before, if you've seen the previous video. So we thought we'll just plant some pumpkins there, and hopefully we get nice big pumpkins. So we put some drip irrigation there as well. We've got these big staples to put everything in place where it doesn't want to stay in place with just gravity. We put those in a few spots, but we find it easier to just use sticks for the major part of it. So we've got bed 1 and we've got bed 2. Now all we need to do is connect these two to the tap. So the first part I'm connecting with a 19mm garden hose. And the second part I'm going to connect with a 15mm garden hose. And I'm going to start that where the connection to the first bed is as well. So I have the 19mm hose, I have a 3-way universal connection, put those in, continue with the 15mm garden hose to the second bed, and here I now have a male-male connection, so that's not going to fit. So for that I'll just make a small section of 15mm hose, cut it here, Screw this one on. And then screw this one on the other side that I just cut. Put this one on the three-way connection again. And this one also here. And there we have it. So while Sylvia is aligning the tubes for the second section, I'm installing the last connection. And as soon as Sylvia's ready with the alignment, we can test it out. Now, what did it all cost? The drip tubes cost us 30 euros each for 100 meters. And we bought 2 of those, so that's 60 euros. Then we got the valves. Those cost us 70 cents each. Then we got the teeth connections. Those cost 30 cents each. We've got the 90 degrees angles. Those also cost 30 cents each. Oh, yeah. Then we've got the end caps. Those were 15 cents each. We've got the universal garden hose male connections. Those were 95 cents each. And then we have got the universal female connections, and those were 2 euros 60 each. Which brings us in total to 81 euros and 70 cents. So in short, 60 euros for the tubing, about 20 euros for the connections of the irrigation system itself, and about 12 euros for the universal connections. Those universal connections were actually the most expensive connections of all. But hey, then you can at least connect everything to any garden hose you already have. So that's kind of easy, right? Click and go. Now, I thought it would be kind of time consuming to install everything, but in the end it cost us like 3 hours with the 2 of us. So that's not too bad, especially if you think that we can save about an hour a day with watering the plants just by turning this system on. And we even have an irrigation computer that we can program, so we don't even have to turn it on. Just program it, let it get water during the night. When it's nice and cool, the water can settle, and then we're finished. And that's that. So we can finally start relaxing a bit. If the system actually works. Let's test it out. Ready to try it out?
Yes.
All right. Let's see. We've got the computer here. This switch on. And this here. Okay. There it goes. Well, it seems to be working all the way up to the last pumpkin plant. So that's good news. Now we can finally start to relax, right? Relaxing on Homestead. Yeah, right. All right, that was it for this week. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Ciao.